Putin panic. Ukraine captured and held 117 Russian tanks. The Russian army was defeated and fled. War between Russia and Ukraine on March 25. Ukraine may have more tanks before the war begins after capturing more than 100 from the Russian army. Ukraine captured at least 117 Russian tanks today, March 25, according to open-source intelligence analysts. Reports vary, but Russia is said to have lost 561 battle tanks to date. 117 Russian tanks were captured by Ukraine during a siege by Ukrainian troops yesterday, March 25. Ukrainian forces surrounded and defeated the Russian army in a town on the outskirts of Kyiv to the east. The Russian army was pushed back and fled several dozen miles away from the capital Kyiv. In a Facebook post on Friday, the General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces put the Russian tank damage at 561. It also said 115 Russian warplanes have so far been destroyed in the conflict, which has now entered its fifth week. Ukraine's reported interests have led some commentators to assert that the difference in the number of tanks captured shows Russia's lack of preparation for a war against a determined enemy. The Russian military is quite immature in terms of combat plans, having suffered a major defeat in the Ukrainian surprise offensive operation yesterday. Ukraine is getting stronger and gaining an advantage over Russia. Meanwhile, British Prime Minister Mr. Johnson said yesterday that Ukraine's allies will try to provide Kyiv with the weapons of the large quantity and quality that Ukraine needs to be able to fight Russia. Mr. Johnson pledged more missiles as well as the deployment of new British troops to Bulgaria, along with doubling personnel in Poland and Estonia to bolster NATO's eastern flanks. Britain has sent more than 4,000 anti-tank weapons to Ukraine. These include next-generation light anti-tank weapon systems and Javelin missiles. It is also supplying and training the Ukrainian military in the use of high-speed Starstreak anti-aircraft missiles. Meanwhile, the Russian military is besieged by logistical difficulties that have forced it to abandon its plans to encircle Kyiv and Kharkiv in addition to attacking from the southern and eastern coasts of Ukraine. In the months since launching the invasion, Russia has failed to capture any major Ukrainian cities, and Moscow has encountered stiff resistance from Ukrainian forces.